funny. You know, because there are people that even if you didn't...
15 sitcom actresses who dated their way through Hollywood. Hollywood relationships can launch careers or derail them completely. For sitcom actresses, every romance became tabloid fodder. Network executives watched nervously. Casting directors took notes. Some leveraged relationships into bigger opportunities. Others watched their careers collapse. These are 15 sitcom actresses who dated their way through Hollywood. Number 15. Jennifer Aniston. America's sweetheart from Friends dated a roster of Hollywood's most prominent leading men across 3 decades. The pattern started during her sitcom peak with Tate Donovan in 1995, who later appeared awkwardly on Friends while they were breaking up. Then came Brad Pitt in 1998, transforming her from TV star to tabloid fixture. Their 2000 wedding made her half of Hollywood's golden couple, but the 2005 divorce, amid Angelina Jolie rumors, defined her public narrative for years. Post-divorce, Aniston's romantic resume read like a who's who of A-list actors. Vince Vaughn during the breakup filming in 2005, John Mayer from 2008 to 2009, generating endless tabloid coverage, Justin Theroux, whom she married in 2015 before divorcing in 2017. Each relationship brought intense media scrutiny that simultaneously boosted her tabloid value, while critics argued it overshadowed her film work. Her romantic life became more famous than any post-Friends role, with pregnancy speculation following every relationship. The constant relationship coverage kept her famous, but arguably prevented the dramatic career reinvention she sought.
No, it bothered me when he slept with other women.
Number 14. Heather Locklear. The Dynasty and Melrose Place stars' Hollywood romances spanned from rock stars to television heartthrobs across 4 decades. Her first major relationship was with Tom Cruise in 1982, during her T.J. Hooker days, before he became a superstar. Then came Mötley Crüe drummer Tommy Lee, whom she married in 1986. The marriage made her rock royalty, photographed at every major music event through the late 80s. They divorced in 1993 after 7 years. Within months, Locklear was dating Melrose Place co-star Grant Show, a relationship that boosted the show's tabloid coverage. But her most career-defining romance came with Bon Jovi guitarist Richie Sambora, whom she married in 1994. The relationship kept her in entertainment news throughout Melrose Place's peak years. After their 2007 divorce, Locklear dated a succession of younger men, including Melrose Place co-star Jack Wagner. Each relationship generated headlines, but her later romances coincided with personal struggles and fewer professional opportunities. By her 50s, the tabloid coverage shifted from glamorous to concerning as relationships became entangled with legal and substance issues.
Together and got married. I was doing Melrose Place, and you're all over every man. You know, that's the whole thing.
Number 13. Kaley Cuoco. The Big Bang Theory. Star's relationship timeline reads like a Hollywood directory, starting during her sitcom's early seasons. She secretly dated co-star Johnny Galecki from 2007 to 2009, a relationship they hid from producers and audiences while playing on-screen love interests. After their split, they continued working together for 8 more seasons, maintaining the secret until 2010. Then came a rapid succession of high-profile relationships that kept tabloid photographers busy throughout the show's 12-season run. In 2013, she began dating tennis player Ryan Sweeting after meeting at a party. They married within 3 months, shocking industry observers. The marriage lasted 21 months before divorcing in 2015. Cuoco immediately began dating equestrian Carl Cook, marrying him in 2018 before divorcing in 2021. Between relationships, she briefly dated Superman actor Henry Cavill in 2013, generating massive fan attention across social media platforms. Her pattern of quick engagements and marriages became tabloid fodder, but her Big Bang Theory success remained unaffected. Network executives didn't care about her personal life as long as ratings stayed high, giving her unusual freedom compared to earlier television eras when studios controlled actresses' images more strictly.
You're about to make me cry, and we both know if I start crying, you're gonna start crying.
Number 12. Jenny Garth. The Beverly Hills 90210 star's romantic history intertwined with her television career from the beginning. Early in the show's run, she was rumored to have dated co-stars, though she kept her personal life relatively private during those years. Her first marriage came in 1994 to musician Daniel B. Clark. The marriage lasted 2 years, ending in 1996 just as 90210 was reaching its peak popularity and tabloid interest in the cast intensified. After divorcing Clark, Garth dated several actors before meeting Peter Fasinelli on the set of An Unfinished Affair in 1996. They married in 2001 and had 3 daughters, creating the image of domestic stability that lasted over a decade. But after their 2012 divorce, Garth's dating life went public again. She married Dave Abrams in 2015 after 4 months of dating, filed for divorce in 2018, then reconciled. The pattern of quick marriages mirrored her early career, when studio publicists managed her image carefully. By her 40s, working primarily in television movies, Garth had more freedom to date openly, but fewer high-profile opportunities. Her relationship choices no longer affected casting decisions the way they had during her 90210 peak.
Brandon, do you have a date for the dance?
Nope.
Neither do I.
Number 11. Courtney Cox. The Friends star's relationship timeline shaped her public image as much as Monica Geller did. She dated Michael Keaton for 6 years, starting in 1989 before Friends launched. That relationship gave her access to A-list Hollywood circles and better audition opportunities during crucial career-building years. Then came actor David Arquette, whom she met on the Scream set in 1996. They married in 1999, becoming one of television's most photographed couples throughout the late 90s and early 2000s. The Cox-Arquette marriage lasted 11 years publicly, 14 years legally, finally, divorcing in 2013. During that time, they appeared together in Scream sequels, and Arquette guest-starred on Friends, blending their professional and personal lives. After separating, Cox dated Snow Patrol band member Johnny McDade, getting engaged in 2014. They broke up in 2015, then reconciled and have remained together without remarrying. Unlike Aniston, whose post-Friends relationships dominated tabloids, Cox's romantic life generated less frenzy, possibly because she avoided dating a succession of famous actors. Her relationship with McDade, a musician less famous in America, kept her personal life relatively private while she worked steadily in television, creating Cougar Town and returning to the Scream franchise. Before we get to the top 10, which relationship surprised you most? Think networks still control actresses' personal lives like they used to? Drop a comment and let us know where you're watching from. Number 10. Alyssa Milano, the Who's the Boss child star grew into a dating resume that spanned actors, athletes, and musicians. Her first major Hollywood relationship was with Corey Haim in 1987 during her teenage years. Then came a succession of young actors, most notably Scott Wolf from 1993 to 1995, during his Party of Five peak. Her highest-profile romance was with singer-songwriter Sinjun Tate from Remy Zero, whom she married in 1999. The marriage lasted 1 year before ending in divorce. After divorcing Tate, Milano dated several baseball players, including Carl Pavano and Brad Penny, generating sports media coverage alongside entertainment news. She briefly dated actor Eric Dane in 2003. In 2007, she met CAA agent David Bogliari at a party, marrying him in 2009. By then, Milano's charm had ended, and her film career hadn't materialized despite years of trying. Industry observers noted that her succession of high-profile relationships kept her in magazines even when her projects didn't generate buzz. Unlike actresses whose relationships hurt their careers, Milano's dating history arguably extended her fame beyond what her post-Charmed work would have sustained alone. The baseball player relationships particularly broadened her media presence into sports publications.
And I meet Earl, and there's a little spark in the beginning, and then we sort of part ways, and then we literally run into each other again.
Number 9. Kristen Davis. The Sex and the City star maintained a surprisingly low profile given the show's cultural dominance, but her relationship history included several notable Hollywood figures. During the show's run from 1998 to 2004, she dated several actors quietly, most notably Aaron Sorkin from 2006 to 2007. That relationship brought her into contact with television's most powerful writers and producers during Sorkin's West Wing and Studio 60 years, expanding her industry connections beyond the HBO world. The Sorkin relationship represented Davis's pattern, dating powerful Hollywood men who were more famous or influential than her, often writers or directors rather than actors. After Sorkin, she dated Steve Martino and Russ Thomas, relationships that generated minimal tabloid coverage compared to her Sex and the City co-stars. Davis never married, instead adopting 2 children as a single mother in her 40s and 50s. Industry publicists noted that Davis's romantic privacy worked in her favor, allowing her to maintain Charlotte's good girl image from Sex and the City while pursuing film work. Unlike Sarah Jessica Parker, whose marriage to Matthew Broderick became part of her brand, Davis's single status and quiet dating life kept focus on her professional work rather than personal drama.
Yes, it's all worked out. My life is fantastic. I'm gonna live it. I'm gonna choose what I want to do and do it.
Number 8. Lisa Kudrow. The Friends star's romantic history differed dramatically from co-stars Aniston and Cox. Kudrow dated French advertising executive Michel Stern briefly in the late 1980s, broke up when he began dating her roommate, then reconnected in 1993. They married in 1995 during Friends' second season and remained together through 3 decades. This stability made Kudrow an anomaly among sitcom actresses, whose relationships typically provided tabloid fodder throughout the 90s and 2000s. Before Stern, Kudrow dated comedian Conan O'Brien briefly in the early 1990s, before either achieved fame. That relationship introduced her to comedy circles that eventually led to her breakthrough on Mad About You, then Friends. Industry observers noted that Kudrow's stable marriage allowed her to avoid the relationship speculation that followed Aniston everywhere. She worked steadily after Friends, creating and starring in The Comeback and Web Therapy, playing complex characters that traded on her intelligence rather than her romantic appeal. Publicists pointed out that Kudrow's private personal life actually limited certain opportunities. Romantic comedies and tabloid-friendly projects went to actresses with more public relationship drama. But her marriage also protected her from the intense scrutiny that arguably limited Aniston's dramatic work.
If that goes well, they may even want to make an album. I'm done now.
Number 7. Pamela Anderson. The Baywatch star's romantic history became as famous as her red swimsuit, featuring rock stars, athletes, and actors across 3 decades. Her first major Hollywood relationship was with musician Tommy Lee from Mötley Crüe, whom she married in 1995 after knowing him 4 days. Their turbulent marriage, 2 children, and multiple breakups dominated tabloids through 1998. Then came musician Kid Rock, whom she dated on and off from 2001 to 2003, marrying briefly in 2006, before divorcing that same year. Anderson's pattern involved quick marriages and dramatic breakups. She married poker player Rick Salomon twice, first in 2007, annulling it after 2 months, then remarkably remarrying him in 2014 before divorcing again in 2015. Each relationship generated headlines, but Anderson's acting career suffered. Casting directors saw her as tabloid fodder rather than a serious actress, limiting her to reality television and occasional appearances. In 2020, she married producer John Peters after 12 days of dating, separating 12 days later. Then came marriage to her bodyguard Dan Hayhurst in 2020, divorcing in 2022. By her 50s, Anderson's relationship pattern had completely overshadowed any professional credibility she might have maintained from her Baywatch years.
You're not his assistant? His assistant? I'm his wife? His wife?
Number 6. Tiffany Thiessen. The Saved by the Bell and Beverly Hills 90210 star dated a succession of teen heartthrobs and television actors throughout the 1990s. Her first major relationship was with Mario Lopez, her Saved by the Bell co-star, from 1991 to 1993. That relationship boosted both their profiles during the show's peak years. Then came Brian Austin Green from Beverly Hills 90210, whom she dated from 1992 to 1995, creating tabloid interest in the crossover between the 2 most popular teen shows. After Green, Thiessen dated actor David Strickland from 1999 until his suicide in March 1999, a tragedy that devastated her and temporarily halted her career. She retreated from Hollywood briefly, then returned to date actor Richard Ruccolo from 1999 to 2003. In 2002, she joined the cast of Fastlane, playing sexier roles that departed from her good girl image. Industry insiders noted that her relationship with Ruccolo, who was less famous, gave her privacy to rebuild her career. She married actor Brady Smith in 2005, settling into domestic stability that mirrored her return to family-friendly television with White Collar. Unlike actresses whose endless relationships sustained tabloid interest, Thiessen's marriage ended the pattern, and her career shifted accordingly to mom roles and Hallmark movies. Before we get to the top 5, which career was most affected by relationship coverage? Ever wonder how different things were for earlier generations? Drop a comment and let us know where you're watching from.
Yeah, you're in trouble. I mean, you're always late, you're totally irresponsible, and you're history.
Number 5. Suzanne Summers. The Three's Company star's romantic history shaped her career more dramatically than most actresses. She married Bruce Summers at 19 in 1965, divorcing in 1968, then began dating singer-songwriter Alan Hamel while he was still married. Their affair scandalized television executives in the early 1970s. Hamel divorced his wife, and he and Summers began living together in 1970, but waited until 1977 to marry due to career concerns about her image and how networks would respond. The relationship with Hamill affected Summers' career in complex ways. He became her manager and business partner, negotiating her contracts and career decisions. When she demanded equal pay to John Ritter during Three's Company's 5th season in 1980, Hamill was blamed for the tough negotiating stance. ABC fired her in 1981, effectively blacklisting her from television for years. Industry insiders said her relationship with Hamill, who encouraged her to demand more, cost her the career-defining role. But Hamill also helped her build a business empire in the 1990s with Thighmaster and other products. Their partnership lasted over 50 years until her death. In 2023, executives never forgave her for the Three's Company battle, limiting her acting opportunities for decades.
Cuz my own cousin gets married and has children and she never even invited me to the wedding.
Number 4. Drew Barrymore, the child star turned talk show host, dated a remarkable array of Hollywood figures starting in her teenage years. Her first publicized relationship was with actor Corey Feldman during her troubled adolescent period. Then came a succession of relationships with actors and musicians, Jamie Walters, Luke Wilson, and most famously, comedian Tom Green, whom she married in July 2001. The marriage lasted 15 months, ending in October 2002, happening during her career reinvention following Charlie's Angels' success. Barrymore's pattern involved intense, quick relationships followed by dramatic breakups. She dated musician Fabrizio Moretti from 2002 to 2007, then married bar consultant Will Kopelman in 2012, divorcing in 2016 after having 2 daughters. Each relationship phase coincided with different career phases. Industry observers noted that Barrymore's personal life generated sympathetic coverage rather than judgment, partly because she openly discussed her difficult childhood and substance abuse recovery. Her succession of relationships was framed as searching for stability rather than careless dating. This narrative control allowed her to maintain a production company, act steadily, and eventually launch a successful talk show. Unlike actresses whose relationship patterns damaged their careers, Barrymore's openness about seeking love became part of her relatable brand.
Mom, Pop. Yeah? I'm pregnant.
Number 3. Sarah Silverman, the sitcom actress and comedian, dated a who's who of comedy and entertainment across 2 decades. Her first major Hollywood relationship was with Dave Attell in the 1990s, followed by Colin Quinn. But her highest profile romance was with Jimmy Kimmel from 2002 to 2009, an on-and-off relationship that included breakups in 2008 and 2009. During that time, she appeared frequently on Jimmy Kimmel Live, and the relationship boosted her mainstream visibility beyond comedy club audiences and into late-night television's wider demographic. After Kimmel, Silverman dated several less famous partners, actor Michael Sheen from 2014 to 2018, creating an unusual dynamic since Sheen's ex-partner Kate Beckinsale became publicly friendly with Silverman. Then came musician Rory Albanese. Industry insiders noted that Silverman's relationships with powerful comedy figures like Kimmel opened doors professionally. Her post-Kimmel work included starring in I Love You America and various specials that utilized her progressive political content. Unlike actresses whose relationships overshadowed their work, Silverman's high-profile romances with comedy figures enhanced her credibility in the industry. Casting directors and network executives saw her as connected rather than distracted, giving her opportunities that her controversial comedy alone might not have secured.
Get rid of your old dentist and switch to the best. Tell him Schleppy sent you.
Number 2. Valerie Bertinelli. The One Day at a Time star's first major relationship defined her public image for decades. She met Eddie Van Halen backstage at a Van Halen concert in 1980 when she was 20 and he was 25. They married in 1981, making her rock royalty while still playing Sweet Barbara Cooper on television. The marriage lasted 20 years publicly, finally divorcing in 2007, though they separated in 2001. During those decades, Bertinelli struggled with her career as tabloids focused more on her marriage to the increasingly troubled guitarist than her acting work. After divorcing Van Halen, Bertinelli dated financial planner Tom Vitale, marrying him in 2011. That marriage lasted 11 years, divorcing in 2022. Between marriages, she rebuilt her career with cooking shows on Food Network, creating a domestic brand that capitalized on her image as America's sweetheart. Industry observers noted that her relationship with Van Halen had simultaneously protected and limited her career. Being married to a rock star kept her famous during years when acting work was scarce, but casting directors saw her as Eddie's wife rather than a serious actress. Her divorce and subsequent Food Network success allowed career reinvention, but she never regained the acting prominence she had during One Day at a Time's peak years in the late 70s.
Look, I'll be back during the rest of the week to pick up the rest of my clothes and stuff, and I'll call later with the phone number.
Number 1. Julia Louis-Dreyfus. The Seinfeld and Veep stars' romantic history surprised many because it appeared non-existent. Louis-Dreyfus married comedian Brad Hall in 1987 before Seinfeld launched and remained married through 4 decades. They met at Northwestern University in the early 1980s, both studying theater, and built their careers together. Hall appeared occasionally on television while Louis-Dreyfus became one of comedy's biggest stars, but their marriage stayed remarkably private throughout decades of fame. This absence of romantic drama made Louis-Dreyfus exceptional among sitcom actresses. While contemporaries like Heather Locklear and Pamela Anderson cycled through high-profile relationships that dominated tabloids, Louis-Dreyfus maintained complete privacy. Industry insiders noted that this stability allowed her to be taken seriously in ways that actresses with tabloid-friendly love lives never were. She won 11 Emmys across multiple sitcoms, created producing partnerships, and commanded unprecedented salaries for television actresses. Casting directors and network executives saw her as a professional rather than tabloid fodder. Her marriage to Hall, who worked behind the scenes on several of her projects, created a partnership model rather than competition. Unlike nearly every other major sitcom actress of her generation, Louis-Dreyfus's career was never defined, limited, or boosted by her romantic choices. The relationship pattern was no pattern at all, which proved most successful.
Do you know what's going on here? Can't you see what's happened? I've become George.